Hello, my name is Amy Sturkey. I am a pediatric physical therapist, and I'm here with a dear friend of mine. This is Rachel Ladner.
Hi.
I have been so excited for you to meet her. Rachel is someone who I really admire, and I just think she has a way that she looks at the world that I wanted everybody to see and hear about. Why don't you tell us about you?
30 years old. I recently graduated with my master's in social work, and I'm hoping to find a job in clinical social work where I can help people like me.
Awesome. And one of the things I will say is that Rachel has cerebral palsy, so it affects all her muscles. That includes some muscles that for her to be able to articulate words well. So if you, at any point you're having any trouble understanding Rachel, turn on your closed captioning and I'll have everything transcribed accurately. So you have cerebral palsy. Tell me, how old were you when you were diagnosed?
I was diagnosed at 18 months.
At 18 months. And tell me about your birth history.
I was a preemie. I was born at 27 weeks.
27 weeks?
Yeah.
Wow. How much did you weigh, do you know?
I weighed 2 pounds, 3 ounces. I went down to 1 pound. I was in the NICU for 10 weeks.
Wow. So were you in an incubator too?
Yes.
And were you on a ventilator at any point too, or do you know?
I'm not sure.
Huh. And so how long were you in the hospital? You said 10 weeks?
Yes.
Wow. And tell me, so you weren't diagnosed at that point. It wasn't until later.
No, my mom had to basically beg the doctor for a diagnosis.
Oh, the doctors were just reticent to give you a diagnosis?
Yes.
Huh. And when did you start therapy then? If it took you that long to get a diagnosis, were you already in therapy at that point or not?
I think I was.
You think you were? Okay. So you were born prematurely. You had difficulty breathing early on, or?
Yeah, I had difficulty breathing, and I had a brain bleed that affected the motor strip and my optic nerve.
Your optic nerve. And so that affects your vision, doesn't it?
Yes.
So tell me about your vision.
I am legally blind and have no peripheral vision. I can see about 36.5, which is really, really big. And
you said 36 font, is that what you said?
yeah.
Okay, so it's a big letters you can see.
Yes.
And then it has to be placed in a particular, there's one place over here somewhere that you see best?
Yeah, I see on my left eye the best.
Okay. Which is why you placed me on the right. Very smart. So you had, what is that called? Retinopathy of prematurity? Is that what you had?
Yes.
Yeah. And tell me about your early birth history. Do you remember some of the ages of when you attained? Because a lot of times people who watch these videos have questions about at what age did you do what things. So for example, did you sit with support?
I sat with support at 3.
At 3 years of age. And you walked with support at what age?
At 1.
At 1 year of age. And you stood around the same time then?
Yes.
Okay. And so now you stood with support and walked with support then. And now for you to be able to walk, you need someone to help you or in a walker? Tell me how it is now.
use a walker, and I walk for exercise, but primarily use a chair for day-to-day use.
Okay. And do you take steps for any part of your routine now, or you transfer straight to in and out of your chair for all day long?
Transfer in and out of my chair.
Okay. But if you needed to access a bathroom somewhere, you could take some steps with support?
Yes.
Yeah. And in terms of sitting balance, tell me about where your sitting is now.
I can sit in a chair with somebody close by me, making sure I don't fall.
Okay. So you can sit with support, like a back support and maybe armrests beside you, but somebody need to be close by.
Yes.
That makes sense. And what about bed mobility? Are you able to roll in bed or scoot yourself in bed?
Rolling is hard. I can roll to my back, but I can't roll onto my stomach.
Okay, you can roll to your back, but you can't roll to your stomach. So you need somebody to help you with all those things.
Yes.
All right, so in this video series, I've been trying to interview people with different levels of involvement. So according to the gross motor function classification system, a level 1 is someone who can walk independently, can run independently, jump independently, and go up and down stairs without holding onto the rail. A level 2 person is someone who can walk independently, but they can't run or jump and needs to hold on to go up and down stairs. A level 3 person is someone who consistently uses a walker or forearm crutches, some sort of support to get around. And a level 4 person is someone who needs a wheelchair to get around, who has adaptive seating, who has some trouble moving against gravity, but is capable of using a power wheelchair. A level 5 person is someone who needs yet more support than that, is probably unable to use a power wheelchair or needs a whole lot more support to be able to use a power wheelchair. That would be someone who has really difficult time holding up their head, turning their head or holding up their head against gravity. So I'd say you're a level 4. And what I think is so remarkable about you is your intelligence and ability to articulate what that life is for you. Tell me, in terms of your life, you've had a good many surgeries. You have
Yes.
What surgeries have you had?
I've had 4 eye surgeries.
4 eye surgeries.
Which, they were strabismus surgeries to help with the tummy, and,
Hold on, strabismus surgery to help your eyes be able to work together better?
yes.
Yeah.
And, none of them worked, because my spasticity took over immediately.
So even though they did they just kept trying, and each time your
Yes.
spasticity. So does that mean you see double when you see?
No.
Okay. So it must have helped some because, or do you only see out of one? Have you turned off the vision in one eye? It sounds like you use mostly your left.
No, I just prefer my left side.
Okay. Okay. What other surgeries have you had?
I've had, 4 hip surgeries.
4 hip surgeries.
4 on one hip, 3 on another.
4 on one hip, 3 on another. Why did you have so many, Rachel?
I had, a derotational osteotomy is since I didn't get a chance to really walk. They cut your femur and turn it so your legs are straight out. And I've had so many, because, the doctor actually messed up.
Oh wow.
And one time I had to go back in, and
So you had derotational osteotomies, and it makes one leg shorter than the other, and well, you had them on both sides, so they kind of evened out. But they turned it too much one way or the other. Is that the mistake they were making?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. The last person we talked to had to have repeated surgeries too. Any other surgeries?
No, that was basically all of them.
Okay. Well, I think this is a good place to start for our first video to get a feel of your birth history and the surgeries and things that you've been through. I hope this is helpful for people as they meet Rachel, and we'll have more videos where we'll talk more about her life. I hope this is helpful, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye. If you liked this video and would like to be notified by email when the next video comes out, click the subscribe button here and click the golden bell icon and ensure notifications are enabled on your account.